You shall not circulate a false report. Do not put your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You shall not follow a crowd to do evil. Nor shall you testify in a dispute, so as to turn aside after many to pervert justice. You shall not show partiality to a poor man in his dispute. If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. If you see the donkey of one who hates you lying under its burden, and you would refrain from helping it, you shall surely help him with it. You shall not pervert the judgment of your poor in his dispute. Keep yourself far from a false matter. Do not kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not justify the wicked. And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the discerning and perverts the words of the righteous. Also, you shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the heart of a stranger. Because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. "6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its produce. But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow. That the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave, the beasts of the field may eat. In like manner you shall do with your vineyard and your olive grove. 6 days you shall do your work, and on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the son of your female servant and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all that I have said to you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, nor let it be heard from your mouth. 3 times you shall keep a feast to me in the year. You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded you, at the time appointed in the month of Abib. For in it you came out of Egypt. None shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, first fruits of your labor which you have sown in the field, in the feast of ingathering at the end of the year. When you have gathered in the fruit of your labors from the field. Three times in the year, all your males shall appear before the Lord God. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, nor shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Do not provoke him, for he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him. Shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, nor shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Do not provoke him. And do all that I speak. Then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. For my angel will go before you and bring you into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. And I will cut them off. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do according to their works. But you shall utterly overthrow them and completely break down their sacred pillars. So you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water. And I will take sickness away from the midst of you. No one shall suffer miscarriage or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my fear before you. I will cause confusion among the people to whom you come. Make all your enemies turn their backs to you, and I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before you. I will not drive them out before you in 1 year. Lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. Little by little I will drive them out from before you until you have increased, and you inherit the land. And I will set your bounds from the Red Sea to the sea, Philistia, and from the desert to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of your land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare to you.
Hello? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Then he said to Moses, "Go up to the Lord, you and Aaron." How do you say these names? Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of Israel's elders, and bow and worship at a distance. Moses alone is to approach the Lord, but the others are not to approach, and the people are not to go up with him. Moses came and told the people all the commands and the ordinances. Then the people responded with a single voice, "We will do everything that the Lord has commanded." And Moses wrote down all the words of the Lord. He rose early the next morning and set up an altar and 12 pillars for the 12 tribes at the base of the mountain. And he sent out young Israelite men, and they offered burnt offerings and sacrificed bulls as fellowship offerings to the Lord. Moses took half the blood and set it upon in basins, and the other half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Then he took the covenant scroll and read it. They responded, "We will do and obey everything the Lord has commanded." Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, "This is the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you concerning all these words." Then Moses went up with Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of Israel's elders, and saw the God of Israel. Beneath his feet was something like a pavement, made of sapphire stone as clear as the sky itself. God did not harm the Israelite nobles. They saw him, and they ate and drank. The Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain, and stay there so that I may give you the stone tablets with the law and commands I have written for the instruction." So Moses arose with his assistant Joshua and went up the mountain of God. He told the elders, "Wait here for us until I return to you. Aaron and Hur are here with you. Whoever has a dispute should go to them." When Moses went up the mountain, the cloud covered it. The glory of the Lord settled on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. On the 7th day he called to Moses from the cloud. The appearance of the Lord's glory to the Israelites was like a consuming fire on the mountain. Moses entered the cloud as he went up the mountain, and he remained in the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. That's why they made the golden calf, because they thought he died. I mean, like, he went up on top of a giant flaming mountain for 40 days with no food. Yeah. Yeah. And they were like, "Well, he's dead. Our God just kind of ditched us, so we gotta figure something out." The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell the Israelites to take an offering from me. You are to take my offering from everyone whose heart stirs him to give. This is the offering you are to receive from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, fine linen and goat hair, ram skins dyed red, and manatee skins, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and fragrant incense, and onyx along with other gemstones, mounting on the ephod and the breastpiece. They are to make a sanctuary for me, so that I may dwell among them. You must make it according to all that I show you, the design of the tabernacle as well as the design of all its furnishings. They are to make an ark of acacia wood, 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. Overlay it with pure gold. Overlay it both inside and out. Also, make a gold molding all around it. Cast 4 gold rings for it and place them on its 4 feet. 2 rings on one side, and 2 rings on the other side. Make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Insert the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark in order to carry it with them. The poles are to remain in the rings, and they must not be removed. Put the tablets of the testimony that I will give you into the ark. Make a mercy seat of pure gold, 45 inches long, 27 inches wide. Make 2 cherubim of gold. Make them of hammered work. at the two ends of the mercy seat. Make one cherub at the end and one at the other end. Make the cherubim of one piece with the mercy seat at its two ends. The cherubim are to have wings spread out above, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and are to face one another. The faces of the cherubim should be toward the mercy seat. Set the mercy seat on top of the ark, and put the testimony that I will give you into the ark. I will meet with you there above the mercy seat, between the two cherubim. I will speak with you from there about all that I have commanded regarding the Israelites. You are to construct a table of acacia wood, 36 inches long and 18 inches wide and 27 inches high. Overlay it with gold and make gold molding all around it. Make a 3-inch frame and make gold molding all around for the frame. Make 4 gold rings for it and attach the rings to the 4 corners at its 4 legs. The rings should be next to the frames as holders for the poles to carry the table. Make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold so that the table can be carried by them. You are to make its plates and cups, as well as its pitchers and bowls for pouring drink offerings. Make them out of pure gold. So this is... so God's like describing like everything about like how they should build it. So it was like the temple before they had the temple. Because before they lived in Israel, they were wandering in the desert, right? So they could, set it up and then, pack it all up and move whenever they had to. It's really cool though, because like a lot of the stuff in it kind of represents Jesus in a sense, and there's like a lot of metaphor is not the right word, but there's a lot of and stuff that all kind of symbolically, that's what it is. It's like it all like symbolizes. Is all like the stones and gold and wood and fabrics and stuff, so they can build the tabernacle. You are to make a lampstand out of pure hammered gold. It is to be made out of one piece, its base and shaft, its ornaments, its cups, and its silaxes and petals. 6 branches are to extend from its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand from one side, and 3 branches from the other side. There are to be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with kylax and petals. On the first branch, 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with a calyx and petals. I think it's calyx. Calyx? Calyx. It is to be this way for the 6 branches that extend from the lampstand. There are to be 4 cups on the lampstand shaft along with its calyxes and petals for the 6 branches that extend from the lampstand. A calyx must be under the first pair of branches from it. What even is a calyx? Under the second pair of branches. Make 7 lamps on it. Its lamps are to be set up so that they illuminate the area in front of it. Its snuffers and fire pans must be of pure gold. The lampstand with all these utensils is to be made from 75 pounds of pure gold. That's a lot of gold. And that's like just for the lamp. Like, cause everything else is covered in gold and, I'm just getting to 26. Be careful to make everything according to the model of them that you have been shown on the mountain. You are to construct the tabernacle itself with 10 curtains. You must make them of finely spun linen, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, with a design of cherubim worked onto them. The length of each curtain should be 42 feet, and the width of each curtain 6 feet. and all the curtains are to have the same measurements. 5 of the curtains could be joined together, and the other 5 curtains joined together. Make loops of blue yarn on the edge of the last curtain in the first set, and do the same on the edge of the outermost curtain in the second set. Make 50 loops on the one curtain, and make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain in the second set, so that they line up together. Also, make 50 gold clasps, and join the curtains together with them, so that the tabernacle might be a single unit. You are to make curtains of goat hair for a tent over the tabernacle. Make 11 of these curtains. The length of each curtain should be 45 feet, and the width of each curtain 6 feet. All 11 curtains are to have the same measurement. Join 5 of the curtains by themselves, and the other 6 curtains by themselves. Then fold the 6th double at the front of the tent. Make 50 loops on the edge of one curtain, and outermost in the first set. Make 50 loops on the edge of the corresponding curtain of the second set. Make 50 bronze clasps. Put them through the loops and join the tent together so that it is a single unit. As for the flap that is left over from the tent curtains, the leftover half curtain is to hang down over the back of the tabernacle, the half yard on one side and the half yard on the other of what is left over along the length of the tent curtains should be hanging down over the sides of the tabernacle on either side to cover it. Make a covering for the tent from ram skins dyed red, and a covering of manatee skins on top of that. You are to make upright planks. Yeah. Yes, so. I didn't think about that. Like, are they like deep in the ocean? That's wild. You were to make upright planks of acacia wood for the tabernacle. The length of each plank is to be 15 feet. And manatee, ram and badger. Huh. One of our Bibles is lying then. Mine's the HCSB. That is well, the King James is like, and like their like understanding of animals was a little bit different. Like, for example, like in like medieval times, well, in medieval times they thought, okay, like for example, they counted like otters as fish because like they lived in the water, and like beavers and stuff, they like counted like them as like fish. Yeah. Where is it? The length of each plank is to be 15 feet, and the width of each plank 27 inches. Each plank must be connected together with 2 tendons. Do the same for all the planks of the tabernacle. Make all the planks as follows: 20 for the south side. Make 40 silver bases under the 20 planks. 2 bases under the first plank for its 2 tendons, and 2 bases under the next plank for its 2 tendons. 20 planks for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, along with their 40 silver bases, 2 bases under the first plank, and 2 bases under each plank. It makes 6 for the west side of the tabernacle. Make 2 additional planks for the 2 back corners of the tabernacle. They are to be paired at the bottom and joined together at the top in a single ring. So it should be for both of them, that they will serve as the 2 corners. There are to be 8 with their silver bases, 16 bases, 2 under the first plank and 2 under each plank. You are to make 5 crossbars of acacia wood for the planks on one side of the tabernacle, 5 crossbars for the planks on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 for the planks on the back side. The central crossbar is to run through the middle, from one end to the other. Then overlay the planks with gold, and make their rings of gold as the holders for the crossbars. Also overlay the crossbars with gold. You are to set the tabernacle according to the plan for it that you have been shown on the mountain. You are to make a veil of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely spun linen with the design of cherubim worked into it. Hang it on 4 gold-plated posts of acacia wood that have gold hooks that stand on 4 silver bases. Hang the veil under the clasps, and bring the ark of the testimony there behind the veil, so that the veil will make a separation for you between the holy place and the most holy place. Put the mercy seat on the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. Place the table outside the veil and the lampstand on the south side of the tabernacle, opposite the table. Put the table on the north side. For the entrance to the tent you are to make a screen embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely spun linen. Make 5 posts of acacia wood for the screen and overlay them with gold. Their hooks are to be gold, and you are to cast 5 bronze bases for them.
You shall make an altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. Hi, Jenny. The altar shall be square, and its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. Also you shall make its pans to receive its ashes. And its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall make a grate for it, a network of bronze. And on the network you shall make 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. You shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, that the network may be midway up the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put in rings. The poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the two sides of the altar to bear it. You shall make it hollow with boards, as it was shown to you on the mountain. So shall they make it. Shall also make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side there shall be hangings for the court, made of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long, for one side. And its 20 pillars and their 20 sockets shall be bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be silver. Likewise, along the length of the north side, there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, with its 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands of silver. And along the width of the court on the west side shall be hanging of 50 cubits, with their 10 pillars and their 10 sockets. The width of the court on the east side shall be 50 cubits. The hangings on one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. And on the other side shall be hanging of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen of 20 cubits long, woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen. Made by a weaver. It shall have 4 pillars and 4 sockets. All the pillars around the court shall have bands of silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits, made of fine woven linen, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle for all its service, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court shall be bronze. And you shall command the children of Israel that they bring you pure oil of pressed olives for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually. In the tabernacle of meeting outside the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall tend it from evening until morning before the Lord, and it shall be a statute forever of their generations on behalf of the children of Israel.
Have your brother Aaron with his sons come to you from the Israelites to serve me as a priest. Aaron and his sons, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Thank you. Make holy garments for your brother Aaron for glory and beauty. You are to instruct all the skilled craftsmen whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom to make Aaron's... It's okay, man. Bro, imagine God just leaves. Habitation's over. Where was I? Make Aaron's garments for consecrating him to serve me as a priest. These are the garments that they are to make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a specially woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. They are to make holy garments for your brother Aaron and his sons, so that they may serve me as priests. They should use gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. They are to make the ephod of finely spun linen, embroidered with gold, and with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. It must have 2 shoulder pieces attached to its 2 edges, so that it can be joined together. The artistically woven waistband that is on the ephod must be of 1 piece, according to the same workmanship of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely spun linen. Take 2 onyx stones, and engrave on them the names of Israel's sons, 6 of their names on the first stone, and the remaining 6 names on the second stone, in the order of their birth. Engrave the 2 stones with the names of Israel's sons, as a gem cutter engraves a seal. Mount them surrounded with gold filigree settings. Fasten both stones on the shoulder pieces as memorial stones for the Israelites. Aaron will carry their names on his 2 shoulders before the Lord as a reminder. Fashion gold filigree settings and 2 chains of pure gold. You will make them of braided cord work and attach the cord chains to the settings. You are to make an embroidered breastpiece for decisions. Make it with the same workmanship as the ephod. Make it of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely spun linen. It must be square and folded. Double, 9 inches long and 9 inches wide. Place a setting of gemstones on it, 4 rows of stones. The first row should be a row of carnelian, topaz, and emerald. The second row, a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, a jacinth, an agitate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. Bro, that'd be expensive. That's true. They should be adorned with gold filigree in their settings. The 12 stones are to correspond to the names of Israel's sons. Each stone must be engraved like a seal, with one of the names of the 12 tribes. You are to make braided chains of pure gold cord work for the breastpiece. Fashion 2 gold rings for the breastpiece and attach them to its corners. Then, attach the 2 gold cords and 2 gold rings at the corners of the breastpiece. Attach the other ends of the 2 cords to the 2 filigree settings, and in this way, attach them to the ephod shoulders at the front. Make 2 other gold rings and put them at the 2 other corners of the breastpiece at the edge that is next to the inner border of the ephod. Make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the bottom of the ephod's 2 shoulder pieces on its front, close to its seam, and above the ephod's woven waistband. The craftsmen are to tie the breastpiece from its rings to the rings of the ephod with a cord of blue yarn, so that the breastpiece is above the ephod's waistband and does not come loose from the ephod. Whoever enters the sanctuary, Aaron is to carry the names. Whenever he enters the sanctuary. Okay. Aaron is to carry the names of Israel's sons over his heart and on the breastpiece for decisions, as a continual reminder before the Lord. Place the Urim. There's like 3 M's in this word. What was it? Thummim. Thummim. Place the Urim and the Thummim. I don't know if I'm saying that right. In the breastpiece for decisions, so that they will also be over Aaron's heart whenever he comes before the Lord. Aaron will continually carry the means of decisions for the Israelites over his heart before the Lord. You are to make the robe of the ephod entirely of blue yarn. There should be an opening at the top and in the center of it. Around the opening, there should be a woven collar with an opening like that for body armor, so that it does not tear. Make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn on the lower hem and all around it. Put gold bells between them all the way around, so that the gold bells and pomegranates alternate around the lower hem of the robe. The robe must be worn by Aaron whenever he ministers, and its sound will be heard when he enters the sanctuary before the Lord and when he exits it, so that he does not die. You are to make a plate of pure gold and engrave it like the engraving of a seal, holy to the Lord. Fasten it to a cord of blue yarn so that it can be placed on the turban. The plate is to be on the front of the turban. It will be on Aaron's forehead, so that Aaron may bear the guilt connected with the holy offerings that the Israelites consecrate as all their holy gifts. It is always to be on his forehead, so that they may find acceptance with the Lord. You are to weave the tunic from fine linen. Make a turban of fine linen and make an embroidered sash. Make tunics, sashes, and headbands for Aaron's sons to give them glory and beauty. Put these on your brother Aaron and his sons, then anoint, ordain, and consecrate them, so that they may serve me as priests. Make them linen undergarments to cover their naked bodies. They must extend from the waist to the thighs. These must be worn by Aaron and his sons whenever they enter the tent of meeting or approach the altar to minister in the sanctuary area, so that they do not incur guilt and die. This is to be a permanent statute for Aaron and for his descendants after him. Like, you can kind of boil down the covenant to, I will make you the greatest nation ever. Okay, just do what I ask you to do. Simple as that. He's like, I will bless you. I will give you livestock. I will give you gold. And I will take care of you. Just follow some of these rules. But like, that was the trap that the Israelites fell in. They're like, why do we gotta follow these rules? Start worshiping. And like a lot of the kind of go against not do. This is what you are to do for them, to consecrate them to serve me as priests. Take a young bull and 2 unblemished rams with unleavened. This is what you are to do. This is what you are to do for them, to consecrate them to serve me as priests. Take a young bull and 2 unblemished rams, with unleavened bread. Unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers coated with oil. Make them out of fine wheat flour, put them in a basket, and bring them all in the basket along with the bull and 2 rams. Bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. Then take the garments and clothe Aaron with the tunic, the robe for the ephod and the ephod itself, and the breastplate. Fasten the ephod on him with its woven waistband, put the turban on his head, and place the holy diadem on the turban. Take the anointing oil, pour it on his head, and anoint him. You must also bring his sons, clothe them with tunics, fasten headbands on them, and tie sashes around both Aaron and his sons. The priesthood is to be theirs by a permanent statute. This is the way you will ordain Aaron and his sons. You are to bring the bull to the front of the tent of meeting. Take some of the bull's blood and apply it to the horns of the altar with your finger. Then pour out all the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Take all the fat that covers the entrails, the fatty lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys with the fat on them, and burn them on the altar. But burn up the bull's flesh, its hide, and its dung outside of the camp. It is a sin offering. Take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on the ram's head. You are to slaughter the ram, take its blood, and sprinkle it on all sides of the altar. Then burn its whole. Then burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a pleasing aroma, a fire offering to the Lord. You are to take the second ram, and Aaron and his sons must lay their hands on the ram's head. Slaughter the ram, take some of its blood, and put it on Aaron's right earlobe, on his sons' right earlobes, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. Sprinkle the remaining blood on all sides of the altar. Take some of the blood that is on the altar, and some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on them, on Aaron and his garments, as well as on the sons and their garments. In this way, he and his garments will become holy, as well as his sons and their garments. Take the fat from the ram, the fat tail, the fat covering the entrails, the fatty lobe of the liver, the 2 kidneys and the fat on them, and the right thigh, since this is a ram for ordination. Take 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake of bread made with oil, and 1 wafer from the basket of unleavened bread that is before the Lord, and put all of them into the hands of Aaron and his sons, and wave them as a presentation offering before the Lord. Take them from their hands and burn them on the altar on top of the burnt offering, as a pleasing aroma before the Lord. It is a fire offering to the Lord. Take the breast from the ram of Aaron's ordination and wave it as a presentation offering before the Lord. It is to be your portion. Consecrate for Aaron and his sons the breast of the presentation offering that is waved in the thigh of the contribution that is lifted up from the ram of ordination. This will belong to Aaron and his sons as a regular portion from the Israelites, for it is a contribution. It will be the Israelites' contribution from their fellowship sacrifices, for their contribution to the Lord. The holy garments that belong to Aaron are to belong to his sons after him, so that they can be anointed and ordained in them. Any priest who is one of his sons and who succeeds him and enters the tent of meeting to minister in the sanctuary must wear them for 7 days. You are to take the ram of ordination and boil its flesh in a holy place. Aaron and his sons are to eat the meat of the ram and the bread that is in the basket at the entrance of the tent of meeting. They must eat those things by which atonement was made at the time of their ordination and consecration. An unauthorized person must not eat them, for those things are holy. If any of the meat of ordination If any of the meat of ordination and consecration, there it is. If any of the meat of ordination or any of the bread is left until the morning, burn up what is left over. It must not be eaten because it is holy. This is what you are to do for Aaron and his sons based on all I have commanded you. Ordain them for 7 days. Sacrifice a bull as a sin offering each day for atonement. Purify the altar when you make atonement, and anoint it in order to consecrate it. For 7 days you must make atonement for the altar and consecrate it. The altar will become especially holy. Whatever touches the altar will become holy. This is what you are to offer regularly on the altar every day. 2-year-old lambs. In the morning offer 1 lamb, and at twilight offer the other lamb. With the first lamb offer 2 quarts of fine flour mixed with 1 quart of crushed olive oil, and a drink offering of 1 quart of wine. You are to offer the second lamb at twilight. Offer a grain offering and a drink offering with it, like the one in the morning, as a pleasing aroma of fire offering to the Lord. This will be a regular burnt offering throughout your generations at the entrance of the tent, where I will meet you and speak with you. I will also meet with the Israelites there, and that place will be consecrated by my glory. I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar. I will also consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God, and they will know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of Egypt, so that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God.